Alright, so welcome back into another Dragon Ball Super card game video, and you saw the title. This one's going to be about the best set 10 aggro engine that I've used in set 10, but this kind of features a number of things in red, and as well as a number of things that I really like. And of course, I have a couple deck profiles that feature Gohan. If you like this, or if you've seen this before, or anything else really, definitely let me know in the comments below, and we're gonna go right into it. So like I said before, this is actually part of the deck, or one of the decks that I've been using, featuring Burnhan, and I've been using it on Twitch and as well as YouTube, just testing it out. I've been sitting on it for a good amount of time, and I'm very surprised that people aren't really talking about it. But when we actually talk about the origin of the deck and where it really came from, or at least where the ideas for me came from, it actually really came from Sandy and my teammate. He went ahead and made this deck back in June, and I do believe, I forget who actually took it, but someone won a PPG event with it. But with the ban of U3 and the uselessness of Super Saiyan 3 Gohan, I was wondering what actually could replace that and go from there, basically. And of course, with the history of myself playing Demigra and a number of other aggro decks, I've always liked aggro decks, and I've always catered to them because it just sort of like live by the sword, die by the sword. Like, you're either gonna win or you're gonna lose really hard. And this deck and this engine is kind of no different. It does have a few things that help you go into like some defense, and as well as just being able to survive the clapback. But let's kind of talk about the engine in general. Oh, before we do that, I do want to give a shout out to Jonathan Snow. I do believe he was, well, not only that he was on my stream and talking to me about it, and I just wanted to give him a shout out because he had a version similar to the versions that I'm showing, but of course different tech choices. But also, you know, I just want to give credit where credit is due. When we look at the engine itself, it really is catered towards red leaders, and as well as just a lot of battle cards swinging at the same time, giving you value and extending your plays over and over again. And if we look from left to right, we have Bulma out of entering, which is a super combo, of course, coming out of set 10. And it says a leader card. If the leader card is red, and you got total, you and your opponent is a total of 8 life or less. When you use this card in combo, you draw 1 card. And then if it's your turn, you get to play 1 red Earthling with an energy cost of 1 in your hand, and then play it. It also has an activate main where you can boost up another mono red battle card or unison card, and gets 5k power, which is very useful for the heartfelt play, of course. Of course, we have Rushing Warrior Japan and as well as Baba as the best targets for this. Not only that, you get a draw from the Bulma, but also you get to play a battle card that boosts either your leader or another battle card, which generally with Russian Warrior Japan, you can basically boost any of the battle cards that you have outside of the Bardock, and as well as the Belmont and the other Bardock, the black battle card. But also, both of them you can go ahead and combo with, and then draw a card. So technically they're 10k combos that draw you a card, and then Bulma draws you a card. You can kind of see where I'm going with when it comes to extending your plays and just keeping it going. Like, that's the plays where you're going into like, let's say you topo on their round or their turn, and then you go into like both of you are 8 or less in general. You swing with the topo, and then you go Bulma, and then go into Rushing Warrior Japan, and then you combo with both of them. Now you're looking at, you know, 35 or more power from there, and then you get to play another 1 drop, and then you can keep going, basically. And the fact that Baba actually gets to minus 5k is really quite nice, and that's probably the best thing about Baba, in which you can play it for 1 or you can play it for free, and then it gets rid of the threat of Black Power Rasan or Crisis Crusher. Both of those really hurt the deck, and it's really good just to have Baba as a way out, basically. And then of course we have Satan Kaba. You only play Satan Kaba in both of the decks I'm going to show you in a second, only simply because Intensify Power Trunks is nice, but you don't really want to take that much life. Every single turn you're going to be taking a minimum of 1 life, and possibly 1 or 2 on their turn, depending what they do. And then Kaba kind of accelerates where your turn 3 is exactly where you want to be. You really want to be on 3 energy. You want to play a Kaba. You want to go ahead and awaken. You want to basically boost up everything that you can, and make sure that both of you are at 8 life or less total, so that way you can use your Bulma. And then after you play the Bulma, after you play the Russian Warrior Pan, after you play the Bardock, the Overwhelm, and as well as this one, which is just busted because when you use the leader effect for Burnhan, or if you just swing, you just play it for free. And if they pop it, you use the leader effect again, and then you just play it for free again. So it's really quite nice. But the Tau here is a unique card in which you have 3 or more battle cards. You get to play for free, and it gains critical for the turn. Yes, it's only for the turn, but it is nice because what happens is that not only for Tau and as well as Bardock, but since you play the Belmont, you get to pop these guys and then play them out again. So you play the Resolute, you play Overwhelm, and then you play Tau. You know, those are the things that you can kind of do. And of course, the Bulma can play out the 1-drops whenever you can. Combo is really good early game and late game, and as well as against Unisons. So there's a lot of different ways that you can kind of do this. But overall, this is sort of the engine. You play out a lot of the 1-drops for cheap. You play out Tau for critical. You play out Bardock after you use the leader effect, and you play the Overwhelm for free. And basically by turn 2, because you'd be bursting at least 2 cards, and then go from there. Now the cool thing is that since we play what's not listed here, which is the Bardock, you draw 2 and you pitch 1. The Android 17 here, in which you negate the attack on their turn, and you get to play 1 red battle card at cost of 1, and you drop it and play it. Of course, the Bulma is probably going to be the best one, especially if you have one of these 1-drops in your hand. So when it goes back to your turn, you can go ahead and combo with it, and then play out 1-drops from your hand for free. And now you have super value. Not only you have a 10k combo and a draw, but also a potential 1-drop afterwards. So it's really, really good in that. Afterimage is really good simply because of 2 things. 1, you can minus things. Always good. It can protect you from a lot of attacks. It's not necessarily negate. These are kind of the main 2 negates other than Topo that we play. But also you get to choose a battle card, well, one of your cards really, and plus 40. And that gives you Heartfelt really at any time during their turn. So you go after Image, you boost up a Western Warrior Pan or a Saiyan Kaba in rest mode, especially if you're going to be defending it, and then you awaken during that combo phase since it doesn't negate the attack, and then you play Heartfelt right after. So that's pretty much the play, other than using Western Warrior Pan, Baba, and as well as Bulma to boost up Tau or any other battle cards that you have, and then go from there. The only thing that I will say is that if you do include Intensifying Power Trunks from here, it is really good for Baba and Western Warrior Pan to boost. It's just that Saiyan Kaba having double strike is just busted. It's just really good. Now, what is the deck, right? So this is the list that I've been using. The only change that I've had since the live streams that I've done is reduce the number of Topos and Belmont, and as well as add in Mira. So again, the stuff that I just said really applies to everything that is about this deck. You take life on your turn. You make them go down no matter what. You use the Bardock Resolute for free, and then you swing, and then you use Kaba, and then you use Bulma. You use Videl as well as a free body, so that way you can meet the requirements for Tau. And the only thing I would change is maybe take out the 17s, go up a Belmont, and maybe that's really about it. That's really about it. I mean, if you want to play port 4 Belmont, that's fine. He does pop a card, and he is a blocker. Anything that's in rest mode, like your Kabas or your Taus, are really just not useful, and you can just get to play another Tau. So I think overall this list is pretty solid. It is kind of a glass canyon at some points, but because you play blockers through Belmont, Videl, and a number of other things, it's not that bad. Topo does hurt the deck, right? But if we go through the pros and cons, really, it is definitely fun and explosive. It's very aggro. It does have turn 2 potential. I turned to a number of decks, and I have the receipts for those. I've gotten a good amount of screenshots, and it's crazy. I've even went against Evoker like turn 3, and it's just a mollywop. Like, you just they just can't do anything. It's crazy. Red access is really good through Topo, through everything, like the Bulma super combo, as well as the 2 1-drops that you boost red cards for. It's Gohan. It's my free, it's not free, but it's Gohan is my favorite leader, and I know that's going to be the same for a number of other people. And it's free real estate. A lot of these things are super free, right? The only things that aren't free are like the Fearless Pan, which if you play out a lot of 1-drops, you use the leader effect to give them all 10k power, and then you use Fearless Pan afterwards. Now you have a lot of attacks, double strike, and now you've been taking their life with leader effect over and over again, and you just kind of go for game. Now the cons, you definitely kind of rely on Bulma sometimes. If you don't see it, it's less energy efficient, and you kind of have to play a little bit slower, which is why I like having Topo and other in the deck. I don't really agree with that, but I think for sure. Heartfelt does clog, which Bardock and as well as Topo will help you unclog that. if like after awakening Heartfelt, which I'm in the way, but this is 4 Heartfelts and 1 Kai, I just noticed that. But it does clog, and it does feel bad having a 1K combo that you can't use for the effect, and it's not great, right? So that's one thing. And the other thing is Hatch and Topo. Since you're playing a lot of cards, Combo's gonna do the work to try to take out their unison if you're going against Topo, and then Hatch, you just kind of have to work around it. I think aside of the probably the Gotens or the Sin Shenron, unison cards are really good against Hatch, and you just have to be very careful of what cards you really want to play out. And then Heartfelt, if you are going to be doing the Heartfelt play, that's no problem. You just kind of have to just kind of wait for the next turn for it to swing at, right? And then of course Dormant Potential kills out a lot of your 1-drops, your 2-drops, etc. And it basically doesn't allow you to play the game if they get off multiple Dormant Potential, and gets to their win con, which is all about aggro. You want to kill them before they kill you, and you know, just disrupt their flow of their game, right? And of course, the last thing I want to mention is that having Great Ape Gokus are pretty much the nuts, because you get to pitch them with the Bardock and as well as Topo. You get to combo on their turn. You get to burst them out, and then draw 2 when the deck starts dwindling down and it starts slowing down, which is super important. Like, you need to keep a hand, and you need to have options in your hand in order to keep going. Now, the other thing that kind of applies to is the blue-red version, which is the original version that I actually had, that I really enjoyed. It's just that it kind of was too reliant on Senzu Bean. But when you actually do have Senzu Bean, which I think I played it on Eggman's stream at one point, you can go for super explosive stuff. And I took out Heartfelt for this because really the only targets that you can really do is Topo and Cooler, and those really sort of, it's like right? If you're not playing the Bulma super combo, because we're playing the Beerus here, it's whatever. But the cool thing about this is that Beerus always gives you energy to work with. Bean protects you on their turn, and it also extends your plays. And then the other part of it is that when you tap out or you use energy for Great Ape, now you can kind of use that energy with Bean as well as Beerus, and then you just can play the Hercule and as well as the Cooler over and over again. The other cool thing about this version is that when you use the Hercule and Boo at the end of the turn, you get to return a red card back to your hand. The best thing is probably Topo, and as well as Mercenary Tau. Both of those are super good targets. And of course, when you do play things on their turn, coming back to your turn and playing a Fearless Pan, boosting up your Cooler, boosting up your Hercule and Boo, and anything else that's on the field, and of course your leader, and then pitching out anything that you don't like and give them all 10k is just awesome. So I really enjoy this deck. I'm glad to kind of move on from it. So whoever wants to go ahead and make it better, refine it, whatever you want to do, definitely let me know in the comments how you do that, or if you have your own version. I'm super excited that I made this deck. And honestly, as we get back into my camera so you can see my dog, let me know what you think in the comments, of course. Like, dislike, subscribe if you're new. Let me know if you need or if you want more of these type of videos. And I'll see you in the next one.